Everyone. My name is Casey Crutchfield, and welcome to episode 1 of the Darkest Hour podcast with Crutch Sherm. Have a great episode here for you today. With that being said, my guest to my left, he's an LSU football alumni, leader in rushing yards, all-purpose yards, Patriot 3-time Super Bowl champion, a lot of more accomplishments too. My man, Mr. Kevin Faulk.
Appreciate you having me, man. Appreciate that.
And Sherm, you want to care to introduce yourself too?
Sherman Wilson, just a great opportunity to get with Coach Faulk, Kevin Faulk, like you said, LSU legend, player in the NFL, also Super Bowl champion multiple times, and just want to get him here. And he's the first guest, obviously, and so this is going to be an opportunity to share some of the moments, some dark moments in his life that allowed him and helped him to grow into those bright opportunities in his career. So I appreciate Kev for dropping by.
No problem at all, man. When I heard the topic and, what it was pertaining, it was like, what, why not? Why not? We have to hear, we have to understand, what drives us sometimes.
Yes, sir. And we really appreciate you for coming through. So with that being said, just to kind of get started, tell me about your early background, kind of how you grew up.
It's like a lot of young athletes, I was fortunate enough to have my mom and dad together, married. Mom and dad both worked. My dad got laid off a job. He was a police officer when we was young. I was about 5 years old. Then my sister was born. I was a baseball player early on in my life. Baseball started a lot younger than football.
Yeah.
Football, that contact. So I played baseball for about 6-7 years. My mom was kind of nervous and scared for me to let me play football. She didn't want me to get hurt. But as, time passed, I got to about the 4th or 5th grade. One of the first things in my life that happened that was kind of tragic. My oldest brother passed away, got killed. So I was kind of in the funk. It was kind of close to it. She allowed me to play football that next year, and that kind of, that's where it all started. So, just some of the things in life that happened.
Now, did he play football?
He did, but not seriously.
Okay.
Back then it wasn't that serious.
And would you say like maybe that he was more of like the key influence to kind of getting you to play, or?
He was the key influence to trying to teach me a lot more about life than about football. At the time, it wasn't as fast as it is now.
Yeah.
But to him, it was getting fast. And so he was trying to just get me up on game.
Was that something that motivated you, the loss of him, obviously being a brother? Did that push you? Did that drive you to be a better version of yourself at such a young age?
It did. But what it also did was take away some aggression that I had, a lot of aggression I had from him passing away, from grieving, from that. You don't know that when you're younger, but, I was getting in trouble running school after that happened. So that was kind of one of the reasons my mom let me play ball, was to kind of get some of that aggression out and everything. But she said how you respond to it. We talked earlier before we even came on air. How you respond to certain things is what makes who you are as a person.
And I know you said this earlier. Do you think that having both your mom and your dad in your life helped shape you? Because I know a lot of days, unfortunately, parents aren't always together as they used to. So do you think that kind of helped you out?
I'm going to put it to you this way. It did. But the era that, like, when I was growing up at a younger age, it was a different world than what it is right now. I think my mom and dad was married, but my dad wasn't there all the time. My dad worked. My dad did other things, but how you say that? Papa was a rolling stone back in those days. But to see that we had something going on, like me or my sister, he was there.
Right.
And to understand that it kind of gives you a different perspective of life as you get older.
Yeah.
And you have kids.
Yeah. Right. Now, and like I said, that's kind of the same in different eras, I guess. I'll be 36 the next week. It's kind of the same thing. My dad, he wasn't Rolling Stone, but my dad worked like 3 different jobs. And so I would see him early in the morning when I was getting up for school, and probably wouldn't see him again until the next morning when I was getting back to school. And he started out working for Sewage and Water Board in New Orleans, and then he's currently with Homeland Security since Katrina. And so I definitely get that, and that kind of motivated me too to just keep working because that's all I knew, right? My mom was in school and my dad was working a job to, make ends meet. And so that's definitely different. And it, like you said, it helps motivate you because you see it and that's all you know.
Right.
And so now as you get older, all you know is work. So I definitely get that.
And so kind of shifting and going towards high school, what was high school like for you? And what was some of those like pivotal high school moments towards like football?
Crazy thing is, I'm gonna start with middle school.
Okay.
I have to. Clever, my middle school coach, just like we met, to me, a lot of other kids in the city of in the town of Cancro. Billy McCauley was his name, and he was 5'5", at best, one of the meanest young men that you would ever want to encounter, but cared so much about you as a person more than anything about football or basketball or track. Might have not known an inch about the sport, but he knew about building people, building their character, building who they are. We talked about the yes man.
Right.
That's where it came from.
Correct.
From him, building my character. I can remember getting drafted in 1999 and coming back after a year and running into him. And I said, yeah. And I didn't say yes, sir. I said, yeah. And I got pinched like if I was in the 10th grade again.
It doesn't change, right? Right. It doesn't
exactly.
change.
So that's why I still say yes, sir, no, sir, to kids, adults, just because of him. But he was one of those guys that stayed consistent, very consistent with everyone that he meet.
That's the, like we again off air we were discussing it. I know you got the pressure on your shirt, and we just talked about how that helps mold you, and having someone like that. Mine was my high school coach who has recently passed away, Terry Freeman. He was at John F. Kennedy, and he pushed me. I wasn't good in sports, but sports was my outlet. It allowed me to release energy. Was at some point I had then got kicked out of probably like 8, 9 different schools. And so my parents didn't understand it, right? And so they didn't have the medications they have now.
Right.
And football was my release. Like I said, I wasn't that good, but Coach Freeman taught me how to be a man, how to have character, how to respond to adversity, how if things don't go your way, you don't have to use your fists or use your voice or yell. Like you can channel that energy, right? And so that you can be a respectable person in a workplace, a great husband, a great father, and so those qualities, right, were instilled to me through football, through Terry Freeman. So, no, I can definitely appreciate you for that.
And so kind of moving on now after having that big middle school influence. So what was high school football like to you?
Fun. Wow. High school football is one of the funnest things that you go to, especially if you win it. Winning takes care of everything.
Yeah.
Guys you see every day on the street corners, you go to practice during summertime, you building a relationship. For me, it was about building friendship, camaraderie. My freshman year in high school, I came in as a highly exotic freshman, competing for the starting quarterback job, but they had a senior there. Didn't win the starting job, but I became the starting free safety that year. Had a pretty good year at free safety. Led the district in interceptions and everything. I didn't want to hit nobody. I just wanted the ball ready.
Yeah, right. That's the offense.
Right. But learned a whole lot from that aspect of coverages. And then my sophomore year, I became the starting quarterback. We had a fullback that was outstanding, about 6'2". 235, she can run. We had a running back that was about 5'8". Blaze ran about 11 flat 100, just can run. And then me at quarterback. Well, them two had 1,000 yards rushing, and I had 950 yards rushing that year.
Yeah, ran the ball.
Oh, very often. Very often. And then we with a couple of option pass. Right. The wide receiver was wide open.
Right.
I almost threw for 1,000 yards that year.
That's crazy.
We had offense that was just like unstoppable that year, but it was one of the most spectacular things. We beat Neville in the field championship and never put around the two in the Super Bowl.
And so after that, what was your next moment, right? Like what was after you obviously highly recruited out of high school, what went into your decision of where you was going?
Crazy thing is, I played football just to have fun,
Mm-hmm.
to get some aggression out. It wasn't until after that year that I kind of understood that, wow, I can actually go play college football.
Right.
And then my junior year started to progress, working out, training in the summertime. You see these college coaches come by. That's when the letters coming in. That's when letters came.
Mm-hmm.
When the letters coming in, it's like, wow, look at this, man. Like, really could be something. And we didn't go to the state championship my junior year, but we played West Monroe in Monroe that year. And it was like one of the best games
Mm-hmm.
as far as talent-wise on the field. We didn't win,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just like, wow, that's when I knew, like, wow, I could go play college football anywhere.
Right. That's when it clicked.
Right.
That's when it clicked. From that point, what did you start to do to level up, like to become the best version of yourself, like in your remaining high school years?
The number one thing for me was always work hard. It never was a thing for me to not working hard. That's all I was taught. That's all that was instilled in me was working hard. Even when you practice, if you're going to work hard in practice, that's going to turn over for you. It's correct. And when the blame comes, it's like practice. It's one of them things. But I think more so just understanding what was about to happen. I'm going to be able to have the wicked decision of where I'm going to go play college football. Never thought about that before. Never really, like, I can go play college football. Never did that before. Well, first train of thought was, never really ran for LSU football.
Mm-hmm.
At that time.
No, I'm with
LSU football,
right. What it is, right, and what it became.
I was a NBC, Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching the Fighting Irish.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, wow, man, I can. And then I get a letter from Newhouse one day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, wow, I can go there. Like, for that time, my age, Notre Dame was like,
right, the pinnacle, yeah.
Quarterback going to the NFL, running back going to the NFL. Oh, wow, okay. So preliminary, I'm going to Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to Notre Dame. I got 4 other trips: Miami, Florida State, Florida, LSU. I take my first trip, Notre Dame. Very first one. Have it, it's that big weekend where all the alumni come in. It's like a big gala that they have. It's one of the biggest things, especially for recruits. I get off the plane. We get off the plane with my mom and dad. We don't talk to no one. We don't communicate with no one. We just step off onto the little thing. It was cool, but it wasn't like, I can't stand this type of cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was just the feel. I looked at my mom and dad. I'm like, y'all know we can get back on the plane. I'm not coming here. I can tell you that right now. My mom like, what? What? Are you serious? You ain't even told, you ain't seen that now. And I tell this to everybody. I had a great time on my visit, but I knew I wasn't going.
Right.
I had an awesome time on my visit, but I knew I wasn't going there. It was just a feel like, nah, I can't. My next visit, Miami Hurricane, South Florida.
Good old time.
Oh, tell me about it, man. Very first, like how you say, impression was when my bag was in my room. Somebody come get my host come get me. Host come get me. And man, we going by somebody's house real fast. Like, yeah, I'm doing all that. Like, yeah, we going by somebody's house real fast. Coach understand where we going. I'm like, okay, cool. Man, we pull up to Uncle Luke's house. Yeah, Uncle Luke's house, man. So we pull up Uncle Luke's house. High school kid.
All right.
Walking in Uncle Luke's house. You was about man. Yeah, you the visual was going on. That was,
No, I get it.
I go to dinner. Do the dinner thing. Leave there. Then we go to Uncle Luke Club now. Then we go to the club. And I actually sit down with Dennis Erickson. And I knew I wasn't going there because of how much fun I had. Right?
It was too much.
It was too much. I knew I wouldn't maintain it mentally. At all. What really topped it off was the exit meeting, sitting down in the room. I'm sitting down in the chair. Coach Erickson coming out across from me, and we talking. And I never brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
He did. Like, man, I know they got a lot of rumors going around that I'm going, but I can assure you that I'm not going nowhere. I'm a hurricane till the day after that. Something like that. I don't think he said till the day after that, but I'm a hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, coach. Appreciate that, man. 2 days later, breaking news, Dennis Erickson leaves for Seattle Seahawks. Wow.
All right.
Really? I said, Mom, this man just said it out here and told me in my face he wasn't going nowhere. She said, that's what you get.
Mm-hmm.
You learn from that, son. Right? You learn from that. I'm like, wow. So the next 3 was Florida State, LSU, Florida State, Florida. Well, we drive. First one was LSU.
Mm-hmm.
Drive to Baton Rouge. Always, till this day, feels like home.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I know that there's a lot of people that still ain't there, but they still got a lot of people that was there whenever I got here.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like home. I knew that for so fact. We leave here Sunday. We drive to Tallahassee. So from the Tuesday to the Thursday, I'm visiting Tallahassee.
Mm-hmm.
Another one that I can say, really not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not feeling Tallahassee.
Right.
I don't know why. It's just I'm not really feeling Tallahassee. Go to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling Florida. That was. At the end of the day, Florida and LSU was my top choice.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling Florida, I'm loving what Steve Spurrier talking about how he uses a running back, not just in the running game, but in the passing game. The guys they have on the team, some guys that I really built a relationship with. So it was like, wow, okay. Well, any big decision I make, I usually sit down by myself, pray, ask God to not give me a decision, but show me a direction. Something that may lead me in the direction I need to go.
Right.
That time, he showed me something. My oldest daughter was born the night we got back from the Florida trip, from that Florida trip. The night we got back, my oldest daughter was born. And me holding her in my hand, it was like, nah, I ain't going nowhere.
Right.
I had to call Coach Spurrier and say, Coach, man, I can't make it.
Right.
Staying home.
Mm-hmm.
Next day, somebody flew up from Florida. Just to like, man, I hear you. Y'all was up there, but I got my sign. And
you listen to it.
And that's how I got to LSU. Yeah. Say, would you do it again? Yeah, probably would. Definitely would. Especially knowing, like, the guys, I mean, like, forever friends with, forever connected to. It might have not been the greatest, especially our senior year. I think our first 3 years was awesome because we didn't know what the hell we was doing. We was building something, and we didn't know it.
Right.
Our senior year, we kind of, how you say that, got a little selfish and wanted more, not understanding we had to give more.
Right.
As a football.
Right. Started to see the light.
Right. But, that's a part of it. Right. Where you learn.
Right.
Correct. And you grow up. So, but just that build, that for me, build a friendship, build a relationship.
Right.
And so kind of tell me about your first impressions when you got down to Baton Rouge.
Oh, like I said, home. Home away from home. I just had a daughter. She's very young. I think study hall started at about 7:30 whenever I was in school. About 7:30. Well, I never slept in Baton Rouge all the time. I drove home after practice. I'm driving home, going to see my kid. I sleep home. I wake up about 5:30 in the morning, hit the highway at 6, make it back here for about 7:15. Walk in the study hall. I'm good. After my first year, Coach let me move off campus. Got an apartment. I was able to move off campus, so I didn't have to travel back and forth as much as I did my freshman year. But it was easy. It was a housekeeping job.
Yeah. So just kind of curious because obviously college football isn't what it is today. Did they kind of look out for y'all, like take care of y'all? I mean, obviously you're not getting any NIL or anything like that. Did they?
What you talking about? I'm still waiting to hear what's going on with this lawsuit from these former players. So if you're still using my name, that's kind of.
Nah, you right.
To answer your question, man, whenever I was in school, and I kind of know they don't do it a whole lot now because whenever I was working for LSU, I'm like, hey, man, where's the student jobs at? Why these guys don't have jobs? It's like, oh, well, they don't have time like y'all did back in the day. And I get it, I understand. But for me, that's where a young man built a relationship with a business owner that he can call or talk to that business owner anytime he wanted, even to just chit-chat about the business, how you get started. Or, for instance, a lot of my former teammates work right now, been working 20-some years for the same people that they worked for whenever they was in school.
Building a relationship, forging a bond. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Building a relationship, forging a bond. I worked for, he was a lawyer, and then I worked for a guy that was in the oil field. Not knowing later on in life, I was going to actually start an oil field company that I did. If it weren't for that operation in college, I would have never known nothing about it.
Correct.
But again, they don't have time for that now because it's more, how you say that, schoolish now. Schoolers. I mean, footballers now. You got to be in depth with everything that's going on in the film room, study room. Like I tell guys, if you want to be successful in football, you better know that man next to you, though. And that man next to him. And if you want to be real successful, you better know what all them other 10 guys doing besides you that's on the field. If you know that, you're going to be successful. Trust me. Because you actually took the time to look. Kind of like building a resume.
Right.
Or building a business plan. If you want to build a business plan, it's easy. Like, you go Google. Go Google. But if you take the time to read, it's going to tell you everything you need.
Right. And so kind of tell me about, do you have any like games that stick out the most to you, a pivotal game throughout your time at LSU?
Oh, they got a bunch. They got a few of them. I know number one game was when we beat Florida, when he was number one, 1997. That was like, I think about that now, it make people laugh. After that game, every football player could walk in any store in Baton Rouge and walk out with anything they wanted. Literally. We was at a party. We was at an outside party, and there was a Circle K right down the street. We walked in a Circle K, and we walked out with 4 cases of beer. And that man said, "Y'all have a good day." 4 cases of beer. That was like, wow. That's when you knew how and what LSU meant.
Right. To the community, to the community, to Baton Rouge.
Yeah, any and everything. Yes. Then my sophomore year, freshman year, I think Independence Bowl, the last game of the year. We hadn't made a bowl game, and I don't know how that was many years, but our first year we was able to go to a bowl game. Now, Trading Park, it's right there in Shreveport, Louisiana. So we was able to go there, have nothing but fans, supporting us. Yes,
right.
Big game, cold as hell. That was one of the first times in my life. I'm like, man, are we in Louisiana?
Right.
Are we in Louisiana? It's cold up here. But had an awesome time in the bowl game and everything. I can't remember exactly how many yards I rushed for, but had a really good game. Sophomore year. First game of the season, play Houston. Beginning of the year, Mardi Gras, I got supposedly me and my girlfriend, who was my wife at the time, was fighting, which that was a lie. That was not true. She was about to fight with somebody, so I'm trying to stop her.
Mm-hmm.
So the cop thought that I was fighting with her and grabbed me, slammed me to the ground, whatever. Well, they suspended me for the Houston games.
Mm-hmm.
Leading up to the Houston game, about a week and a half, 2 weeks before the Houston game, they lifted the suspension. Well, the game happens. We're losing by like 21 points at the beginning of the fourth. And we come back and win the game. Well, I have a 78-yard punt return, another long, like very long run to set up a scoring drive, and just all kind of crazy stuff happened in that game. And we wind up winning the game. So that was another special game just because of everything that happened leading up to the game and the actual game being played. For junior year, I don't know if it was Notre Dame we played there. Yeah, we played them there. Playing in South Bend. That has always been a dream of mine to playing in South Bend. Like I told you, I used to watch
No, that ain't
growing up, and for us to actually have the opportunity to play in South Bend, and that was awesome. That was awesome. I don't think we won the game. I think we might have lost that game, but it was a very pivotal game. Ups and downs. We got the ball one time. I think I fumbled. They picked it up, scored a touchdown. Well, they kicking the ball off, and you actually could see me. I'm standing back there like, just kick it to me. Please just kick it to me. Just kick it to me. Kick it to me. Take it 80. Come back. They might have scored. We come back. We take it. It was just one of them games.
Just like whoever had the ball last.
Right. And it's just that memory of playing there. I could just picture myself sitting back watching games, and now I'm on that field. So that was memorable.
Mm-hmm.
And then my senior year, that was the only memories. We was horrible. Like I said, I think we just became selfish as a football team and stopped doing the little things that started making us successful. Not like we weren't in games. We were always in games. It's just the fact that when that crunch time play come, we was never able to make it. And that's all about those little details.
Yeah. Nice. And you tell me about one of your toughest moments when you was at LSU and how you responded to it.
Oh, I think the whole team. Like I said, when you think LSU, for me, when I think LSU, I think family.
Mm-hmm.
Family oriented. So many people that was there whenever I was there, still around in some capacity there, was family, is what I think about. Well, one of our offensive linemen committed suicide. And at that age,
Yeah.
don't understand that you don't get that. You like, wow, I was
just talking to you right
with him.
Yeah. Why didn't
Didn't know that he was going through whatever he was going through. And for me now, I'm always looking at someone now. They may be like, man, what you looking at me like that?
Right.
I'm trying to look into the lawn. I'm trying to look into the store to make sure you are right.
Correct.
He's like, what you mean? What you mean? Had it happened to him before. I know you can't feel everybody, but I'm type of person, I don't want to miss nobody.
Right.
I don't want to miss it. And I could have been a help now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was one of the darkest moments. One of the players committed suicide. There was a few other moments, learning experience moments, little moments. I think we talk. I'm not even gonna bring it up, but we'll discuss that a bit later.
Right.
But it was just some of the moments as far as just growing up. For me, always when my kids was born, one of the things for me telling them was, don't do nothing at a young age that you can't make up for when you get older.
Right.
Because we all gonna make mistakes.
Correct.
That's how we learn. Don't go walking around this world not trying to make a mistake because you're gonna make one.
Correct.
You not trying to make a mistake, that's gonna be the biggest mistake you're gonna make.
Exactly. There's nothing to learn from.
Right.
So kind of moving on, when did you kind of realize that we're going to another step, the National Football League? What was kind of like the process going into that?
Junior year, starting to see ages coming around, walking around and want to talk, runners want to talk to you. Trying to talk to your family, without your knowledge.
Yeah.
That's when I really started noticing that it was getting serious. After my junior year, it was decision time. Don't go to the league, or you going to chill, Well, my financial advisor, who is a professor now at LSU, Dr. Sherm, who, my dude.
Still helping.
Yeah, my dude. That's one of the guys that sitting beside him. Wait, I couldn't sit down and do what's right here.
Correct.
Screech. Oh, no, I couldn't do this, but he was the guy. Looking back to his he sat me down because it was him and Bird, our academic counselors at the time. Sat me down and he just wrote me down like, hey, man, do you know you only have 18 hours to graduate? I look at Dr. Kim, I said, what? I got 18, what? I got 18 hours to graduate. I'm like, how did that happen? She's like, what you mean? I'm like, you told us what you wanted to do when you first graduated. He said most guys, whenever I came to school, never really knew what they wanted to do at the beginning. It was like always, I'm going to wait a year, then I'm going to declare. Well, I knew when I graduated high school, I wanted to be a football coach. I knew that from my middle school coach and my high school coach, just because of how we felt about that.
Presence.
Yes,
Exactly.
I knew what I wanted to do.
The impact it made on your life. Right.
So immediately, I started taking classes for that. And that's how I got to that point. My junior year, I only 18 hours. And he was like, well, in December after we're senior season. I said, huh? Graduate? That's feeling like a graduate. Doc, I never ever thought about graduating. I can't college play football. I'm just being honest. I never knew I was going to graduate. He's like, wow, okay. So I went to my mom and asked her what she thought. And she was like, baby, I'm just happy that you are happy. Do what you feel is best for you. Well, I knew it was best. Whatever is best for her. Right. So I know I'm coming back and getting that diploma. Came back getting my diploma. Like, wow, I could not believe that I actually got the diploma. And 14 years down the line, it's something that I needed.
Correct. Right. It's helped you along.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. So, from that aspect, man, you just never know, never understand. And nowadays, I say so much easier, but it's so much in line to get it done.
Right. You're more
in 3 years. Yes.
Right. The plans are right.
It's more like in the privileged path, more sessions that we have and that you do never actually man formal now.
Correct. So you can do 3 terms in the summer. Right. Winter terms during Christmas breaks, May semester. So yes, it's not easier, but it's more opportunity.
Right. You get it done
in a shorter period of time. Yeah.
Yes.
And so kind of tell me about draft day and then kind of like the events kind of prior to that.
He drafted me. So draft process starts. It's a crazy process. I go with I have to tell the story. I go with an agent by the name of Tank Black. I don't know if y'all know who Tank Black is. Well, Tank Black is a short black man, businessman from South Carolina. He got a bunch of football players, bunch of big name football players. And he just signed from our class, Javon Curse, Johnny Rutledge, all the boys from Florida.
Right.
All the boys from South Carolina, all the boys from there. Guys that I played again. So just signed all of those guys. So it's like a big family. Well, he continues to try to get me to sign power of attorney over to him. The crazy thing, I'm a country boy that really don't know much about much at the time.
Correct.
I'm shrugging him off, telling him, sweet man, cool. We got time. Don't worry about it. We got a whole bunch of time. So pre-draft visits, I go to New England. First I'm getting on the plane. I'm like, where am I going? New Zealand?
But Friday never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Right.
But now you going to Boston, Massachusetts. Get off the plane. And that year, we had just opened up the new training room. So it's
Mm-hmm.
And I go to the living room, and that story room was like a high school studio.
Mm-hmm.
At the time.
Yes. Yeah.
Get your living room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. The living room is so small, it's ridiculous.
Oh, no doubt.
Oh.
Compared to what, even back then.
The locker room. The locker room is like almost touching the visitors' locker room.
Mm-hmm.
There's only double doors that separate the two. And they loud, everybody separating the two. And it's like, wow, can I go back to Baton Rouge? Those guys. And then they were really topped it off after I got drafted. Now, I'm staying in a two-bedroom condo. At the time, I'm paying $450-$500 a month. I pretty much get the same condo in New England.
Mm-hmm.
And that thing $2,500 and $3,000 a month. Like, wow, are you serious?
Right.
Can I go back? Should I commute every day?
Right.
Commute every day, but my bad, but you're in the draft process. So, Williams is looking for a running back. And every day, she had a purple in the phone. Everywhere, the stuff in the phone, so they just looking for a running back. Never come. They don't want a few guys. They're like, in place on her phone. I could move on there telling me, look, if they want to put me in the place in the phone, I'm good. And like, then they come, we have a big party at my Canada's house in that field. More than 30 people come up. They pick offensive linemen. They don't know really. I'm like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm curious. So when the line started, so we ready for that. We're good. Talk about 4 people that remove them. It's like, so sit down. And with whatever pick the New England Patriots select, linebacker, Andy Katzenmoor, Ohio State. And I'm just like,
you still remember his name?
Definitely. I'm like, wow. Get up, walk out the house, I go jump on a 4-wheeler, go ride a 4-wheeler. I think 4 more picks happened. Atlanta Falcons had just won the Super Bowl that year.
Mm.
Atlanta calls. Hey, man, we thinking about you. Just want to let you know you're on our mind, man. You don't be by that phone. All right, cool, thank you. Yeah, Atlanta. It's real. And then I started thinking, I don't know about this, man. I don't know about Atlanta. I don't know about that.
Miami.
Right. Then it's like, you know what, forget it. Atlanta picked, I forgot who they picked at that time. Totally forget who they picked. Well, all right, go back, jump on the 4-wheeler again, go ride a 4-wheeler for a little bit, come back in the house. The Giants were picking up next. All I hear is the New England Patriots have traded for the 46th pick. I ain't even getting no phone call. With the 46 picks, the New England Patriots selected running back Kevin Faulk from LSU, Louisiana State University. Everybody in the house yelling and screaming. I'm just sitting there like this. Okay, it's time to go to work now. Still upset.
Mm-hmm.
So we stay for about another hour. Then we leave, go get dressed, and then the party. Party at the club. Have fun at the club. Propose to my girlfriend at the time, who was my wife. And then it starts the family. We moved to New England. It's one of them. Gotta adapt to it.
Yeah.
Gotta adapt to it because it's totally different from being a family. Totally different people, culture, seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's amazing how my wife always say, I loved it up there because I seen all the seasons for the first time in my life. She said, we learned about it. Remember, straight in school. You don't see two of them. Right. You know,
Right. Not knowing yeah. No.
and I never really thought about that until we moved out there. You never really know.
Right.
But that experience was one, another one in your life that you just never know. People could say something, but something came up in the course to where they went from they wanted a running back to getting a linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you gotta learn the business aspect of the game of football.
And did you kind of take that one personal?
Oh, definitely.
Like you had a chip on your shoulder?
Oh, definitely. Had to. Glad I did. Because now that you think about it, once you get older, you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You fighting, you pushing to make a team.
Mm-hmm.
When you're younger, you're younger in the NFL, you don't understand how serious it is.
Right.
Because unless you're a first round, and I'm gonna say second round it, you're not guaranteed to make a team.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you that closer
Yes.
at any moment, right?
Oh, I done seen a late second rounder get cut
Right.
in training camp.
Mm-hmm.
Just got drafted in training camp. It's another thing to tell kids that will make it to that level. If you're fortunate, better pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Better pay attention.
Mm-hmm. So 2 things I wanted to ask. What was training camp like? And before you say that, what was it like signing that first contract?
Wow.
Because obviously, you're at a young age and you see that type of money come up front to you. What was it like signing that?
I dream. Think about all the days you was in the yard. And I'm not saying practicing. Playing by yourself on a Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing a football up, throwing a roll of tape up, shooting the basketball in the rim. All of that comes up like, wow, look where I'm at now.
Yeah.
I'm actually signing a football, something a goal that I set for myself to make. Wow. Now, what people fail to realize is the hardest part is staying there.
Mm-hmm.
You sign that paper.
Right.
With that paper, ain't no
Mm-hmm.
that ain't the NBA. That ain't no that you cross it. No, not at all. And you got to do every and any little thing to scratch and stay in there. Like in New England, there's one thing I learned. Our days off was Tuesdays. I was going in on every day off to do something. Whether it be treadmill, whether it be swimming, whether it be stretching, massage, something. Well, every Tuesday, the New England Patriots brought in 20 to 25 guys to work out from multiple different positions. Just in case something happened during the course of the season, they maybe call somebody. But that just let me know your job ain't safe at all.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get me put somebody on your all day rest. They run out for time. You're not throwing that right.
Somebody is in there, right? Looking at your lock and everything, hoping they can get that change.
And what was like the speed like of you step in, it's such a jump.
That's the blessing of playing the SEC.
Yeah.
That's the blessing of playing the SEC. Just the speed of the game, it wasn't that much faster. The physical speed, the mental speed, how quick you process.
Right.
It's what changes more than the actual physical speed. You got to be able to process that thing real quick because it's going to happen that quick. They might have it real quick. But as soon as you try to make that move to get to that hole, nah, it's gone. Oh, yeah. Because they baiting you into that hole, really.
Correct.
A smart defender, he's going to bait you into that hole. Especially if you know he can control that offensive lineman. If he control the offensive lineman, he going to control it. And you got to have a way of how you can help that offensive lineman out.
Yeah. What was your first interaction with the linebacker?
Linebacker?
Yeah, that was drafted with that second pick in the first round.
At the time, he would have me the blitz pickup wise. Coming from college, where he really done teach you good protection, how to pick up the blitz. Unless you cut block. Back then, it'll just tell you the middle of the thigh bud. Inside, outside, down.
Right.
Yeah, I hear you. That don't work.
Right.
Right. He gonna dodge me. But when it came from me running routes, there was a rat who couldn't left it hold me or nothing like that. So but he got hurt. That was the thing. He really didn't pan out to what they thought he was gonna be because he was the man in college. He was the one. He was supposed to be like the Dick Buckers, all of this. But his neck got hurt. Preseason game, won a game, regular season, and he just never tricked it. Never turned out to be nothing really. So it wasn't really nothing that came about like as far as we battled every day.
Right.
Cool dude. It was just the fact that, hey, look, man, I really didn't like you from a standpoint of competition wise.
Right. And do you remember your first game? Like, did anything stick out or?
First game, the crazy thing, the first game I think was Jets. A regular season game. There's a big difference from a regular NFL regular season game and NFL preseason game. You can feel the energy in the regular season game. Man, you can feel it. But just electrifying. I never, ever can compare to Baton Rouge. But the fans can't get a little, they back it. They have a large backing because it's title town.
Yeah. And what would you say is like some of your takeaways that you had from your rookie year?
Adapting. Understanding what I needed to adapt to. Understanding what was going to keep me there long term. Once you realize that this ain't promised, they can get rid of you at the drop of a dime. Well, after my rookie year, crazy part is, first part of my rookie year, we went 6-1. 7-1. We went 7-1. Came back from the break. We won one game. Went 8-8.
And this is the 2000 season? 99?
99. We went 1-7 that last stretch. Went 8-8. Pete Carroll got fired. That's when I was like, Pete Carroll got fired. How Bill Belichick got hired was crazy.
Yeah. With the napkin and all.
Right. I'm like, wow, how Belichick got hired was crazy. And then him coming in and how he didn't say nothing, but just, I'm going my way. If you're on board, or you're not going to be here pretty much. That's what I took.
Right.
Just without saying much, that's what I took from it. Get on board, or you're not going to be here. Wow. Okay. Bingo. Gets there, and we needed it at the time. because Pete Carroll was our coach my rookie year. Love Pete Carroll to that. Pete Carroll is a player's coach. You go in the locker room, tell Pete, I need my son, Pete gonna try to get you. I'm gonna say, no, that's not legal. But I'm just making a joke. But Pete gonna try to get you anything that you want.
Right.
At the time, that's not what New England needed. New England needed somebody that was going to stomp down. Yeah, and they got the right guy. I tell you. He came in, and it was from day one. With Pete, 2 days before a game, we had like a little, what we call hat day, where it's little walkthrough. Everybody got on baseball hats, jerseys, and we going out there. We went, it's serious, but we got on baseball hats. That was Pete. Well, when Bill got there, it was 2 days before the game, and Bill had the schedule up, and it had helmets and shoulder pads on. The vet on test Bill. He was talking about, man, no, man, this is what we had hat day. No, he ain't doing that. We going out hat day. We putting our foot down, forget that. Okay. We go out there in hats, jerseys. Bill called over the captains. Captain came back and called the team up, hey guys, we think it's in our best interest if we go inside and put on our shoulder pads and helmets. Yes, indeed. That right there, further let you know what he was coming
about his business.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
He scared them.
Oh, yes.
So I really don't want to take too much of the focus from you, but obviously going towards that, y'all get a new quarterback kind of by accident, I guess you'd say.
Nah, not by accident.
You wouldn't call that?
Nah, not by accident. Nothing Bill done was by accident. Nothing Bill does is by accident.
Right.
Nah, he strategically thinks about certain things. He may have been on the board like later, maybe as a free agent or something, but something happened in that process to where maybe a guy that they wanted or had an eye on, somebody else picked him up. And that opened the door for time. But at the time for Bill, what I found out with Bill was best available at the time for what we need at that position. If we need something at that position, yes, I'm going to take a look at it. And it's who it is, how is that player, who is that player. They really took time to think about players and who they was getting in. It was always funny to me how in my whole career there, guys would come and go. But if a guy left, you try to bring in a guy with that same almost athletic ability, mindset, how the other guy, I mean, it's like, wow, how do you do that? How you, for instance, Wes Welker. Played Wes Welker, I forgot what year it was. He played Wes Welker when he was playing in Miami. Man, we come back and Bill is going off on the DBs at how Wes Welker killed us. Wes Welker free agent next year. Well, Wes Welker winded up right. New England. Well, Wes Welker starts declining. You can tell this is when it started happening. Who Bill drafts?
Is it Dan?
A quarterback.
Right.
A quarterback.
You think it's he just looked at skill set, or they did a deeper dive?
Jude was very smart at the quarterback position. I credit playing quarterback in high school to a lot of my success, college and NFL, because I was able to process stuff faster. It was always like, as a quarterback, when you break the huddle, you talk to
scan the field, right?
Scan the field. Right. Even if I wasn't throwing the ball, I would talk to scan the field. I need to know where the safeties were. So I credit playing quarterback to a lot of like quick thinking, understanding what may happen, There's only certain things that can happen.
Right.
You know, so that's one. But he was smart and but tough. That's another thing about those two. That was like, dang, they tough. Then they get brother, which similar time. Just a little taller.
Yeah.
Just a little taller than both of them, but similar types. Really, yes.
And so tell me about that first Super Bowl. The season, and then obviously, you know, the game actually being played in New Orleans. So tell me about all of that.
Oh, that scene was ridiculous because waking up 2 in the morning to go to the facility, flick something in, turn on the TV, and you see 2 airplanes going into the World Trade Center.
Right. Yeah. Correct.
Boy, this real? Looking at the TV like, boy, this real?
Right.
Wait a minute, hold up.
Right.
What is going on? Phone ringing. Man, you seen this? Man, you seen that? I'm like, and from there, I'm stuck. I can't go nowhere because it's all on the news. So it's like, wow. Get our information on what's going on, how we gonna handle everything. It's, well, one of our players, teammates, Joanne Drewsy, brothers were firefighters in New York, and they were on the ground, even in the buildings, getting people out. So for us, that was close to home. So we had a team meeting and kind of they planned out everything that was going to happen. Well, I guess that game, the game we were supposed to play that week, that got postponed. And we played the next week, and our game was at home. His brothers were like the captains, the special captains for that game and stuff. So that was a good thing. But that, for some odd our season just felt different. Special? Different. And I say special now because it's over and I can say that, but it just felt different. Drew got hurt. Tom came in. And it was like, okay, I'm not gonna say we never missed a beat, but we learned how to skip to Tom's beat. And instead of skipping the Drew's beat. And he made it easy because of who he was in camp and how he was a leader in the huddle. Like a lot of veteran guys understood that, wow, this kid, okay, he might be a rookie, but dang, okay, he got this, man. And it just went from there. That first game he started was the Indianapolis Colts game we played at home, and I don't think there was too many times that New England beat the Colts, and it was Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was coming to his own at the time, and we wound up winning that game at home. Tom's first start, that's when you could just like, oh.
Did you always know that he was special before that? I hate to cut it off the...
No, you good. I'm not going to say special because we first came in, right? You seen the video. He was small, strong,
right.
Yeah. But there was one thing that was always something that was just awesome about it. He is a freaking competitor. Now, he know he can't run faster than most of the people. He know he can't lift weights fast. He know he's not the highest jumper, but he's going to compete with you. He's going to talk trash to you. Like he actually can. But that's him. And don't let him get lucky and have win something.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, it's over. But his competitiveness and his willing to want to try to beat you is what makes him. That's his drive.
Yeah. And so y'all get into the playoffs. So kind of tell me about that playoff run.
I'm not going to say it was like any other, but the chemistry that was built during the course of that year, the adversity we went through the course of that year as a football team, that's what built that playoff run. And just staying consistent, staying true to who we were, understanding that we didn't have a lot of top-name players, but if we play together and keep doing that, we can win the game. We got a really good defense.
Yeah.
That was what we had. We had a really good defense that, we know you're not going to score a lot of points though. We're lucky to get some turnovers and, score some points off the turnovers. We can win the game.
Mm-hmm. And correct me if I'm wrong, going into that Super Bowl, y'all were heavily underdogs.
Yeah, we were trying to get the great show on turf.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we trying to get the great show on turf.
Rams, yeah.
Yeah, my cousin in there, Marshall Faulk.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet feet.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how was that as a family member or close friend on the other side, and it's I guess it's him or you. Obviously it's a football game, but I mean both from the state of Louisiana representing, running backs and the community. How did that go into that competitive, fire?
Well, it was the game overshadowed it a whole lot. I think that it could have been a bigger thing than what they actually made it. Now that I think about it, it could have been a lot bigger than what they actually made it. But the game itself was phenomenal. The game plan that Bill and the defense had for him, and that's what speaks volumes about who he is as a football player, because there was a whole game plan for him. Like, hit him.
Right.
I don't care what he got going on.
Right.
He coming out the backfield. He ain't got the ball. Hit him. Aggravate him. Make him aggravated. And it actually worked. It actually worked at certain times of the game when we needed certain plays. The defense made a lot of big plays in that game.
Right. No doubt.
And so what was it like to host that first Super Bowl trophy?
It was phenomenal. From the game aspect, but just the holistic thing about everything, as far as me being from Louisiana, me having family, a lot of family members there. At that time, I was a big club guy. I went to clubs a lot. I hung out with a lot of Cash Money and them. I used to hang out with all of them. So it was around that time that was wow. I'm with him.
Right.
After the game, I'm in the club with Bailey Bills and Wayne. Yeah. And it's wow. And I sit back and think about it, wow. You know how long ago that was? Boy, that was so long. But had a great time. It was one of those experiences.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't do it again, but just one of those experiences.
Right. When you look at your career, right, with the Patriots in the NFL, what moments, tough moments, right, that was obviously throughout the night, you brought up the Tom Brady situation, but for you specifically, me, your family, be any adverse situation, right, that you can speak to that help you, grow the long career that you had that kind of pushed you?
First one, so Bill got there. Bill brought me in. He was like, hey, man, see you working, but I have to. I'm going to get rid of a couple of veteran guys at the running back position. So I'm going to draft me 2 guys in this draft, early on in the draft, running back wise. So my sister wanted me to raise up. I respected that. It was still letting me know that
we hit it right.
Right. As soon as I got out of that office, called my agent. Hey, man, get me up out of here. It's like, what you mean? What you mean? I'm like, man, get me up out of here. I said, Bill brought me in the office, talking about he gonna bring in 2 guys. He gonna draft them early. The writing is on the wall, man.
Right.
The writing is on the wall. It's like, calm down. Be patient, Kevin. Just making sure his team has depth. I'm like, nah, man, start looking into some other teams, man. Start looking at some other teams. Get going. Camp gets going. And the 2 guys that he drafted, one in the 2nd round and one in the 4th round. 2 guys he drafted. None of them level in the practices during training camp. They never hurt. All the running backs hurt. I'm the only running back healthy. I got to worry. Regular offense, some scouting offense. And it's like, How am I going to marry? Actually, they took care of me. They helped me out a little bit, but I did most of the reps that I ever heard of him. I think that's what kind of got me a little.
Correct. That earned that
Yes,
from
because I really didn't complain.
right.
I just went on and did what I had to do. But then after that, Bill came back. Like, hey man, I'm going to trade for Antoine Smith.
Mm-hmm.
He said, God damn, I want to make you my third down back. Third down back, man. I want to be a starter.
Mm-hmm.
I want a guy that getting it in, doing the work. Well, lo and behold, I didn't know that probably played more than the starting running back.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, rep-wise. So it worked out for the best. That was one of the first times, and like, wow. Second one, 2004. This was my mom passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Like preseason time, everyone then like, wow, are you serious? Can't believe this is happening. Funny thing is, right after the funeral, I spoke, but I really didn't talk to nobody. The day after I got on a plane and flew back to Massachusetts and like went into my cocoon. It was like, couldn't believe it. Once I think about it, I left my sister hanging. Well, she had to grieve on her own. I had to grieve her and my dad. So it was one of them things like, wow, one other tragedy that happened was 2007. Matter of fact, 2007, right after the Super Bowl back, basically, that we lost. We take an exit drug test.
Mm-hmm.
And a week later, I get a letter in the mail. I get a phone call from the trainer to come into the facility. And he's like, man, I just want to let you know you tested positive for performance enhancing drugs. I said, what? I said, because I better take Advil. What you mean? I better take it? I don't get it. He's like, man, I don't know, kid. He's like, man, we have to go run some tests, MRIs and everything. Well, to make a long story short, I had a small tumor in my head that they found it benign. But it was one of those scary moments like, wait a minute.
All right.
First off, I know I don't take no PAD. I know I don't take none of that. Secondly, what the hell is going on? Why is this possible? How is this possible? But it's like life in a nutshell. But that was, in the league. Well, the last one in the league was, I think, which is any football player that's able to make it to the NFL is hearing that word, your services is no longer needed.
All right.
I think that was like really tough. But as you get older, you start to grasp and play 13 years. Like, wow, how much longer you want to play, girl?
Right.
How much longer? But
Right.
it's still the fact of somebody telling you, no, you can't play the game of football no more.
Right. That's tough.
It's one and I'm like, wow. Then it brought me back to one of my homeboys that I played with in college, to why he had started acting a certain type of everyone when his NFL career ended. And I'm like, wow. Oh, I want to rewind back like 12 years and apologize to him. Because I'm like, man, he acting like a little.
Right.
But I really, now I understand, wow. Okay. I picture it like Bill was, I walked in the office after one preseason that I never played for the team. Bill was like, man, after the preseason, I'm going to make a decision. Do I want to bring you back or not? It's not. So I couldn't wait till the last preseason game. They having home games for the preseason, and I'm at my home, and my home is like 3 minutes from the stadium. I can hear everything going on in the stadium. So I'm like this. Give me some headphones, please, yo.
Right.
When I'm watching the game, bro. Correct. So I go in, talk to Bill. I'm like, hey, coach, what's up, man? He's like, oh, what's up, kid? How you doing? I'm like, good. He's like, man, what's up? Like, say, coach, man, Just want to know if you made a decision on, like what you're gonna do in the running back position. They're like, oh man, I kind of figured you was gonna be coming. See, I know you. So he's like, man, you know what? I'm gonna stick with the guys that we got right now, Kevin. And if I need you in the middle of the year, I can call you, and then probably can work your out work on something. I look at Bill. I say, Coach, I want to thank you for everything that you've done for me, helping me grow as a person, football player, every aspect of my life. But I can't sit around waiting for no football. These last 4 weeks in the preseason, I drove my wife Danny crazy. I'm going to retire, Coach, I think. Yes, I'm definitely going to retire. I'm not going to put my family through that.
Right.
But me waiting to go play?
Right, correct. Waiting.
Oh, no, I'm not going to put them through that.
Right.
Because I know what that was going to be like. But it was cool, though.
And so what was retirement like early on? Did you find trouble kind of filling a void with football, or was it kind of easier?
It helped out. When I retired, I went like into radio and TV up there. And so I was still
Active.
I'm into talking about it, being able to go and holler at some of the guys, it was still one of them like, okay, I'm still in the groove, very clear. Yeah. Well, after that first year doing the TV and radio, I'm like, man, I don't like this. I'm like, just for the simple fact is they want to be so negative about a lot of things. Right. You really don't need to be negative.
And you were in the locker room, so yes. Yeah.
And that was one of my first things. All right, I just want to let y'all know. I'm a very personable guy, and I know something about every person in that locker room. I've watched a lot of these guys' kids grow up. So for me to say I'm going to talk negative about somebody in the locker room, no, it's not going to happen. You can try it all you want, but it's not going to happen.
Right.
At all. But it was a good thing, doing that. But I got an experience with it. But I just like, you know what, I can't do it. About a month after I decided, I get a call from like a student at my old high school just asking me, man, what do you think about coaching high school football? Like, what you mean? Well, the high school coach, he just resigned. He just left. I'm like, huh? What you mean, just resigned? So I get some information. He's like, yeah, he just resigned. He moved to Texas, da-da-da-da. Well, I actually couldn't be the head coach, but I could be the offensive coordinator at the time. So what they did was they made the offensive line coach, who was there whenever I was there, the head coach. And I was the offensive coordinator. And that's how I got into coaching at my high school, coaching for about 5 years, and I came to LSU. And, it was a good road. Like 5 years in high school was what I needed. It was time to move on. The role when I got to LSU, player development, I give up right now. Everything I'm doing to go do that again, because that's more personable than even being a coach with a player. I love that aspect of it, but I can't say that I don't want to coach because I know too much about the game of football. But that aspect of a college football player is what's needed more. And
molding them, yes.
Especially these days now, what's going on. It's needed a whole lot more. And why I say I love it was because I was in the quiet area with them, walking to class with them, talking with them. Man, what's going on with you, man? Coach told me you did this. Coach told me you having this, Coach, man, Coach told you. I said, yeah. Why you think I'm in the quiet? Why you think I'm coming and walk with you? Why you think I'm coming and talk to you? Because it means something. He can't. He can't come do it right now because we're working. I can't. So it was one of them things, like, I loved it. Had concerts. Me and my boy Jeff, we would volunteer, like, hey, y'all, we can take y'all to the concert if y'all want.
Correct.
We go on, probably get backstage some kind of way. And it was just that
with that protection.
Yes.
You was able to be there with them, build that relationship. Right. And it helps, right?
Oh.
As for them, it's more than just dealing with somebody that's about wins and losses.
Yes.
Is more that nurturing, but also stern.
Right.
You can be, good cop, bad cop at any point in the day without it affecting the wins and losses like that.
Like I told you off here, what I always told the guy that I coached or I affiliate with, I still have a football player.
Mm-hmm.
A little more mature,
Mm-hmm.
but I still have that mentality and know that sometimes what you thinking, nah, that ain't the right thing. Let that go. We don't need that right now.
What is, to deep dive into your LSU coaching, what was one of your toughest moments being there?
Oh. When a kid can't, when something negative happens with a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and especially when you got a personal relationship with them,
Mm-hmm.
for me, I think when you know something, as far as I tell a parent at the time when they come to LSU, I don't mean to be harsh, but I'm only being honest. If your kid fails at LSU, it's because he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Just being honest.
Mm-hmm.
If he fails at LSU, it's because he wants to. There's too much help, too much resources to help a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are certain situations that's going to go on where.
Right. Like that.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
But if your kid fails, it's because they wanted to literally fail.
They avoided the help.
Yes, they got too much.
Yes.
They got, and I'm not even talking about the financial advisor, the people that set up your tutoring or nothing. I'm talking about people like you.
Mm-hmm.
People,
Mm-hmm.
people like me that
Right.
Man,
Different avenues.
yes,
Right.
Too much, and that's the thing for me. Like, I don't want to see a kid not succeed.
Right.
But it's just like anything else we do in life. Too easy to get into.
Mm-hmm.
Too hard to get out.
Right. Exactly.
And so, kind of thinking about it, what would be some of your advice to some of the players today?
How you tell somebody to prepare for adversity? How do you?
It's a good question.
Pay attention to exact clues in your life. Understand that you will have adversity, like we talked about off there.
Mm-hmm.
Understand you will have adversity. And I wore this shirt for a reason. There will be pressure that you put in on your life at some point in time. How you respond to that pressure? What's your state of mind when you respond to that pressure? There's a lot of different things you can talk about or say that's going, get you through whatever the adversity you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's all about you. How are you going to respond? How many times have you been through this? Because like we talked about, if you don't learn something, it's going to come back around.
Mm-hmm.
It may not come back around exactly the same way.
Correct. But it will.
But it will come back around in some fashion or form. And you got to kind of
navigate.
Yes. Like, I remember this situation.
Right.
All right. I know exactly what to do.
Correct.
And it's like LeBron said day before yesterday, go 100 miles per hour in practice. That way in the games, it's the same way. My muscle memory already know.
At that speed, correct.
At that speed.
Right. And before we kind of go into closing, just kind of looking back on some things, throughout your whole career and everything, do you have anything that you regret?
It's a lot of things to regret. But why regret it? You didn't do nothing.
Right.
You didn't do it. You didn't, I get a lot of, like, why didn't I blow up? Or why didn't I go off when I got fired by LSU?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? I'm old school. You don't try to burn nobody just because you feel like you got burned. First off, wait. Be patient. You're going to find out most of everything that you need to find out, or what happened, or why it happened, or how it happened. Just got to be patient with it.
Great.
It's one of them things you can, but it's just tell me, when does it turn out right? When you try to bash, or you feel like somebody bash you, I'm gonna go back and bash them.
Right.
When does it turn out right?
Right.
It's never right for no party at all. No parties involved. So you know what? I was taught, so you know, bury the hatchet. And at the end of the day, if somebody's supposed to get their licking, they gonna get it. God got you. I trusted him.
Right.
All right. He got me this fault.
Right.
He got me this fault. So
Right.
Well, and so in closing, what's next for you? What can we expect from Kevin Faulk?
it's crazy. Cause what people didn't know, or don't realize, it's still in kind of like a depression stage. Still, and he's like, wow, how can you still be in depression stage? Whatever happened to you happened.
Right.
Yeah, it did. But in that time, I had to make sure a lot of people was all right
Correct.
before Kevin could be in his depression stage. And it happened. Kind of still in a little bit, but at the same time, I'm trying to get back out of it. One of the things is just getting back into football. Anytime something negative or adversive happened to me, I've always dove myself into football like a mug. And this is one of the first times that I couldn't. But I dove myself into my family. And that helped. That helped. And that took the place of football.
Right.
Like we do a lot more family functions. Kind of like if I was coaching or playing football.
Right.
Trying to stay around, trying to stay involved with them. So, but as far as the ventures, started a lawn service company, landscaping, with my son. About a year, 10 months in right now. The relationship, like it's crazy because every day with your son, somebody that looks identical to you, it's crazy because he thinks like me. He tries to do everything like me, which is understandable.
Right.
But I also want him to be his own man. And by me growing up, I am able to be a little different than what he was accustomed to whenever he was growing up. As far as me correcting him, I'm a lot more patient, not yelling and not screaming. I'm a lot more patient, a lot more explanatory to him, and what he has to do, and a lot more understanding because I get it, because I know him.
Right.
If I do all that, he's gonna lock up. And,
Right. You're not gonna get done.
Yeah, right. So it's just about learning. It's like we talked about learning, understanding what you have to do to be successful, whatever you're doing, and then move on.
That's a great answer. So, any final takeaways before we go into the closing? Anything you have to say to the viewers?
Not really. Just like you say, pressure. Be ready for it. Pressure bust pipes. Pressure almost McDonald's too.
Right. We appreciate you breaking in the first episode, man.
Yeah, well, I think this is a great first episode.
Yeah.
This ain't my first time doing that. First somebody either.
No.
So we might tell people, if you're having a first episode, I don't mind doing it.
We appreciate you for real. And so we thank you for taking the time. I reached out to you and you didn't even hesitate. So I appreciate you for that. And like I said, we're gonna keep this thing rolling, trying to get this second guest. I think the second guest is gonna be very explosive, but we broke the mold, so I appreciate you for that, man.
Like I said, I don't mind being a guinea pig. I'm good.
But yeah, with that being said, I just want to thank all the viewers for watching.
Yes, and so that's, as we kick off this, we'll be posting and you can like and retweet on our Instagram.